was at your park the other day.
Oh, in Edmonds?
Yeah.
Were there kids on the?
Yeah, I didn't go close to that at all. Yeah. There were more people than I would have expected. So
Yeah. I find that as you go north, there aren't.
Honey, we're just starting services. Can I call you back in an hour? Hopefully you didn't take what I said yesterday when I texted you back. You didn't take that wrong yesterday.
I think we should mute ourselves.
I was just like, okay, she's sleepy, she's drunk, or what the hell? It was crazy. All right. Okay, later. Bye.
All right. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Donna, for being our usher tonight. Do you want to say anything?
Shabbat shalom. Turn off your cell phones. Joking. Welcome to our members and to our guests. Happy New Year. Make sure you're subscribed to our Temple e-newsletter because there's a lot of interesting new programs starting even this week. So check it out.
Thank you. Start with a little Shabbat song. Haya v'hayom, Shabbat shalom. Maya v'hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Maya v'hayom. Shabbat shalom. Maya v'hayom. Shabbat shalom. Found a poem that I want to share with you from a book by John O'Donoghue, who's an Irish poet who I think died 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And the book's called To Bless the Space Between Us. It's a beautiful book that when Dan Nichols was with us a few weeks ago, he was telling me about this book, and I'm so glad he did. So this is a poem called For a New Beginning. Seems appropriate. In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure, hold nothing back. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. So we are going to switch our service around a little bit since we have people in our Zoom room with us, which I'm very delighted is happening. And we're going to begin our service with our opening Shabbat blessings, our blessing over the candles, the Kiddush, and the Challah. And one of the things I have loved about services at TBT is the tradition of sharing in each other's simchas, in our joys. And so for this Shabbat, or for Shabbat together in this way for 2021, I invited Howard and Vivian to light the candles, and if they want to share a few words, because in just a few days they will be celebrating their double chai wedding anniversary, their 36th wedding anniversary. So we will say Mazel Tov and share in the joy of that. And then we'll also, when we get to Kiddush, we'll have time if anyone else has a simcha they want to share. So Howard and Vivian, can I turn it over to you?
Sure, thank you. Wait, you're losing my candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
And I know Howard wanted to say a few words, but first of all, wishing all of you a happy, healthy, good new year. And we have a couple simchas. Our two sons just got engaged in the last 6 weeks. So we have 2 weddings to look forward to. So we're very excited about that. Hopefully I didn't take everything away from Howard.
No, it's in addition to celebrating our 36th wedding anniversary. It goes without saying that we really miss our friends at TBT and look forward to the day when we'll be able to attend services in the flesh and from my mouth to God's ears. There you go.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank you. Mazel tov to both
Thank
of you. Many, many more years of happy marriage.
Thank you.
And we'll turn now to our Kiddush, our blessing over the wine. And let me go back to my gallery so I can see everybody. Is anybody else enjoying a simcha that you want to share with our community? Just go ahead and unmute yourself. Right. Because the bookies aren't here. I feel like they always have something. All right. If you have a Kiddush cup, please join with me as we say the blessing over our wine or grape juice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemahaseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher letziyat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'tanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodecha v'ahava uratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. And does anybody have a challah? Arnie, what?
I have a donut.
That's better than my naan. We got Indian foods. I have naan. The Schusters. All right. Would you be willing to unmute yourself and lead us in Hamotzi?
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'teyavon.
Avon. Thank you. We're going to continue with a little Shir Chadash from our Kabalat Shabbat service. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. And we'll continue with Lekha Dodi, welcoming in the spirit of Shabbat. When we get to our fourth and final verse, you are invited, as able, to rise and stand the entrance to whatever room you're in as a way of greeting the Sabbath bride. Lekha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat, Nekabela. Lekha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat, Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Yishmiyanu elam yuchad, Adonai echad, Yishmo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litchilo. Lekha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat, Nekabela. Lekha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat, Nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'necha, Ki mekor ha'bracha, Merosh mikadem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh le'machshavat chila. Lekha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat, Nekabela. Lekha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat, Nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, Ki va'orech u'miori, Uri uri shir daberi, Kavod Adonai alayich nigla. Lekha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat, Nekabela. Lekha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat, Nekabela. Hoi v'shalom, ateret malak, Gam b'simcha u'sola, Tochemnei am segula, Hoi kala, ahead and be seated as we continue with Shalom Aleichem, welcoming in the angels of Shabbat to our Sabbath table. I made the visual tefillah small on my screen so I could see well, but then I can't read the words. Make it a little bit bigger. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Hasharit, Aleichem Hayon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Aleichem L'Shalom, Aleichem Hashalom, Aleichem Hayon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nili Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Hayon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Hayon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We continue now, moving from the Kabalat Shabbat part of the service to our Maariv section, the part that includes Shema and its blessings, starting with Baruch Hu, our call to worship. So if you're able, please rise and face east, if you know where that is. Baruch Hu et Adonai can go ahead and be seated. We are going to continue with Maariv Aravim, and for tonight I chose a sort of alternative version of Maariv Aravim, the song "This Pretty Planet" by Tom Chapin and John Forster, which ties in with Maariv Aravim and the themes of appreciating the beauty of our earth, and reminds us that it is a holy space, one that we should treasure and take care of. So this is a round, so if you don't know it, hopefully you'll pick up quickly, and even if we have to be on mute, it'd be cool if you wanted to do a little round action with me, pick a different section as we're singing. This pretty planet spinning through space, you're a garden, you're a harbor, you're a holy place. Golden sun going down, Gentle blue giants spin us around all through the night, safe till the morning light. This pretty planet spinning through space, you're a garden, you're a harbor, you're a holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giants spin us around all through the night, safe till the morning light. This pretty planet spinning through space, you're a garden, you're a harbor, you're a holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giants spin us around all through the night, safe till the morning light. Baruch atah Adonai Maariv Ravi. Continue with Ahavat Olam, recognizing God's love for us as shown through the gift of the Torah and the commandments. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Rukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Alkein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, Kumeinu nasiyu b'chukacha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, Ki hem hayenu, Ve'orech yameinu, Uvaychem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. We continue now with Shema ve'ahavta. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol lebavcha u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot ayadecha v'hayulatotafot beinenecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Would anybody like to do this English reading? Just unmute yourself.
And what is my lifespan? I'm like one gone out of Egypt. The Red Sea parts. I cross on dry land. 2 walls of water on my right and on my left. Pharaoh's army and his horsemen behind me. Before me, the desert, perhaps the promised land too. That is my lifespan.
Thanks, Jermaine.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you are joining us on Facebook or YouTube or on our website and you're like, wait, there's other people there? That is because starting tonight, we are giving the option of people joining us in the Zoom room as we're leading the Shabbat service. It's not required. You can obviously still join via Facebook or YouTube or the live stream, but one of the reasons we wanted to do this is to allow more opportunity for interaction and participation. So if you want to join us and you did not realize that you could, or you don't get our weekly newsletter, then you can send an email or call the temple and we'll help get you in for next week. We're going to continue with our song of freedom and redemption, Mi Khamokha. I think it was last week in the Saturday morning service, we were, I forget what prayer song we were doing, but we were noting that we can always count on Carol to do the hand motions, whatever it is. Thank you. I love it. So we move to our upbeat Mi Khamokha prayer into Hashkiveinu, which is a little more somber and is asking God to protect us in our darkest times. Help us get through those times safely on the wings of God. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shem each heartbeat. May my dreams be sweet. Hashkiveinu, Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom. Amidenu, Shomreinu, Shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot shlomecha. We are going to continue now with the Amida, beginning with the words of the Psalm. Where's my thing? Asking for the ability to pray. So if you are able, please rise and join with me as we face east. Adonai sefatai tivtach ufi aki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh hakol, v'zocher hasdei avot v'imahot, u'mevi gula lifnei v'nehem, l'man shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham bezrat Sarah, atah gibor l'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verafech holim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, mi Khamokha bal gevurot, umito malach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye ha'akol. Atah kadosh v'shim hakadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yihalalu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We're going to take a little bit of time for silent prayer. You can go ahead and be seated whenever you're done, or you can be seated now if that's more comfortable for you, and we'll join back together in Yehi L'Ratzon. ויוני בי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי יהיו לרצון ימי פי ויוני בי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי I have too many devices. Okay. All right. This is so exciting. I get to talk to people. I can actually see you. It's wonderful. Okay, dokie. So our Torah portion this Shabbat is Vayechi, which is the last Torah portion in the book of Genesis before we move to the book of Exodus. And it's, on the one hand, winding down a very distinct and important part of our people's history, our narrative, the family drama of Abraham and Sarah and their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and I think great-great-grandchildren. And it's also sort of setting up for how we get to this Exodus story in the first place, which is that we are now living in Egypt. We have traveled there because there was a famine, but as we learned in last week's Torah portion, now the famine has gotten so bad that it's even spread to Egypt, and things in the world seem to be getting worse and worse. And then what's going to happen in the book of Exodus starting next week is the story of the Israelites becoming slaves and moving into the Passover narrative. But in this week's Torah portion, we actually have two very important deaths. One is the death of Jacob, and the second is the death of Joseph. Ends the book of Genesis, ends with the death of Joseph. And in this Torah portion, it's a very short Torah portion, and it starts by saying this is how long Jacob lived, and as he was approaching his death, he calls Joseph to come stand by him. And I'm going to focus on that in a minute. And then after he talks to Joseph, then he goes on to offer blessings, sort of, to all of his children. And then what happens is, then after Jacob dies, Joseph's brothers realize, oh shoot, now like Joseph had loyalty to his father, to Jacob, but now that Jacob's gone, we need to make sure that Joseph isn't going to turn on us, to get revenge for what we did. And so they come to Joseph and say, oh, by the way, Jacob, our father, wanted us to tell you that he thinks you should forgive us. And Joseph says, don't worry, I'm not gonna turn on you. So, but the moment before Jacob blesses all of his children, he has this really interesting moment where he brings in Joseph, and Joseph's two sons come with him, Manasseh and Ephraim, or Ephraim and Manasseh. And Manasseh is the firstborn, and Ephraim is the younger son. And Jacob is now sort of ironically, because he's old and he can't really see very well, which is how it came to be that he was able to trick his father, who also couldn't see very well, into getting his brother's blessing when he was younger. And so now Jacob himself can't see very well. And he says to Joseph, bring your children forward so that I can bless them. So Joseph brings Ephraim and Manasseh before Jacob, and he sort of like places them so that Ephraim is to Jacob's left, and because he's the younger, and Manasseh is to Jacob's right because he's older. And I guess presumably when he blesses him with the right hand, that's the predominant blessing for the firstborn son. And even though Joseph has like set it up as it's supposed to be, Jacob flips his hands, try not to burn myself, flips his hands and puts his right hand on Ephraim and his left hand on Manasseh. So he switches it. And Joseph, as he starts giving this blessing, and Joseph is like, wait, you got it wrong. You switch I put them in front of you the right way. Manasseh's over here. Manasseh's the firstborn. And Jacob basically says, no, I know what I'm doing. And goes on to give Ephraim the blessing that he thinks he should get, even though he's not technically the firstborn. So kind of a callback to when Jacob was younger, a little bit. But what struck me about this Shabbat, this time around, was this idea that Jacob, well, there's clearly this societal norm that exists, that the firstborn is supposed to be the one that gets this blessing that's more important, that inherits things first. And Jacob is, in his youth, boldly willing to sort of like cheat the system or work the system, depending on how you want to say it, in order to change, to get around that. And then in his old age, he has this moment where he's like, no, I know that this is still clearly a societal norm. And he's like, I don't care. This is what I believe in. And I was just thinking about this idea of breaking societal norms, and when is it good to be the bold, courageous, I don't care if I'm technically maybe breaking the letter of the law or breaking what's expected of me because I see something, a grander, more important purpose in the scheme of things for a society, versus when is it maybe not so great to be a rule breaker. And we have examples of this in our Torah. Nadav and Abihu come to mind, who famously, even though they were like offering sacrifices to God in respect of God, presumably they went around the system and did it in such a way that ended up leading to their own death. So that was an example where it was clear that even they broke the societal norms, and it was not good that they did that. And so thinking about the world, 2020, all the things that happened, it's not like magically on January 1st, 2021, things are suddenly different. And yet this gives us an opportunity to reflect on how much has changed in this past year. And there are, I think, some societal norms that have been, if not completely broken, at least brought into the light of our larger societal, I don't know, into our view of needing to look at it in a new way. So I'm thinking about George Floyd and the way that we've been learning about unconscious bias and all that. And I would say that those are good there are a lot of good societal norms that we're working to break. And I'm sure there are ones that are not as good. And so just one more example, not from 2020, but I also know that this month marks the 10th anniversary of Debbie Friedman's yahrzeit. So Debbie Friedman, amazing, groundbreaking Jewish musician, died in January 10 years ago. And I think that's an example of somebody who was brave enough to look at the world as it was and the societal norms and say, I have something important to offer the world. And she took a risk, a huge risk, by putting herself out there as a Jewish musician, offering new ways of accessing our liturgy. And I think probably, I hope everybody in here would agree that that was absolutely for our benefit. And we owe a lot of gratitude to her. So this year, as we move into 2021, our secular new year, my hope is that we can be like Jacob and think about all the things in our society that maybe to be able to stand back, question what is, imagine what could be, not be afraid to stand up for what we believe in, even if it's, going against what we're supposed to do. And I'm curious if anyone wants to share, if you have thoughts about any norms that we've broken this past year that are for the better.
I've been to a couple Zoom Shiva minions, and it allowed me to go where I couldn't have gone before. A friend died in Vancouver, for example, and I wouldn't have been able to go, but I was able to because these days we do everything on Zoom. So I think that's for the good.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Oh, thank you.
I think everybody this year, when they say, how are you doing, they actually genuinely mean it in a way. Even if they're not talking about your physical health, they're talking about your mental health, your spiritual well-being. And it's something that I really tried to be genuine about, but I noticed that I'm not alone this year. Like, everybody really is trying to embrace that phrase and but really means it this year. I think that's a good breaking of norms.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Thank you. All right.
I have one more.
Yeah, please.
I just got one more. So it doesn't matter what side you take on any issue. I love the fact that everybody is passionate about what's going on in this country and what's going on in the world. And some people say it divided us. I say it let everybody know where everybody stands. And whatever side you're on, we all want the best world for the future. And it's one of those things that everybody talks about, but they never have time for. And everybody is passionate this year. Everybody is passionate, and it's great. I hope everybody keeps this up after you get what you want, or you don't get what you want. I just hope that you stay engaged and that you stay involved.
Amen to that. Thank you. All right. We're going to transition into Misha Berach, and before we do that, it occurs to me that I think this sort of ties into the first thing Jermaine said, but I think there's so much stigma around mental health, and I think, Jermaine, that you're totally right, that people I think are more interested in actually hearing how people are doing, and I think people are willing to be more vulnerable now, so the more vulnerable you can make yourself, which is which is, I think, a good norm to break, the more that we as a community can stand to support each other. We can't pray for healing for someone if we don't know that they're struggling, and we can't pick up the phone to call someone. Can pick up the phone to call someone randomly, but if you don't know that that particular person is struggling, then maybe you wouldn't be necessarily as likely to do so. So, a lot of good. All right. So we are going to continue now with our Mishaberach, our prayer for healing. This week as a community, we are praying for the healing of Valentina Darakovsky, Azrael Early, Rohan Early, Tara Landry, Myra Masig, Patricia Shapiro, Orly Sherman, Amy Thornton, Deborah Newman Castengay, Lindsay Robinson, Laura Armstrong, Stacy Hetzel, Diane Turner, Michael Sirkenpool, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Kalina Suzawa, Deborah Rose, Sid Rubin, Liliana Oxsmith, Hans Wheel, Phil Grinker, Benjamin Dominitz, Terry Callett, Pam Shane Johnson, Eileen Kreisman, Ronnie Haber, Sherry Schnabel, Carlene Ackerman, Scott Bush, Lisa Bush, Sarah Rose, Mary Ann Witten, Mary Wilhite, Brenda Wally Soren, Stuart Soren, and Abby Wagman. Is anybody here saying Mishaberach for any loved ones? You can either put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself and share.
Okay, so I got like a lot of older people in my family. So I just like to say, like, I say Mary Brown, but really I mean like the whole Carter family, the whole Rucker family, because, you know, they're getting up there in years, and I got one Jewish aunt and I'm holding on to her.
Thank you.
I'm thinking of Risa Davids and Stanley Davids and Donna Plotnick and Jeff Plotnick.
John King.
Let's join together. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And we are going to continue now with Aleinu L'Shabeach, reminding us that it's our task to repair the broken parts of our world. If you are able, please rise. We'll join together. Aleinu L'Shabeach Ladon HaKol, Latet Gelula Leotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kuyoye Ha'aratzot, Velo Samanu Kamishpachot Adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Vekor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam, V'anachnu Korim, Mishtachavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz hayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You can go ahead and be seated. We turn now to Mourner's Kaddish, remembering our loved ones who have either died recently or at this time in years past. If you are observing a yahrzeit this Shabbat, I want to invite you to share the name of the person you're remembering, your relationship to them. And if you're willing, if you want to share anything about that person, a memory, something you learned from them. If you've been coming to Saturday morning services, then this is not new for you. I've been doing this in Saturday morning services. I really think that sharing, taking a few minutes to share about the person you're remembering helps bring their memory into our shared space so that we can support you in your remembrance. So if anyone is observing a yahrzeit, you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you want.
I'm observing the yahrzeit for my aunt, Shirley Lockitch, who was probably one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. She should have been a comedian, but she also taught me how to sew. And I am so happy to have her thimble collection as a way to remember her.
Thank you. Okay. We as a community are observing or mourning the recent loss of Audrey Fishman, who's the aunt of Elizabeth Knopf, Rebecca Miller, who's the aunt of Janice Brumer, and Howard Lehrer, who is the cousin of David Nemmons. And in addition to those three, we are remembering and observing the yahrzeits this Shabbat of Loretta Anderson, Herbert Carson, Rabbi Ronnie Cohen, Joseph Fowler, Darrow Glockner, Sarah Gott, Irving Gottlieb, Esther Gralnick, Harry Halpern, Shirley Lockitch, William McNeely, Minnie Milstein, Sylvia Morris, Reuben Paul, Nathan Prazow, Samuel M. Raffish, Jeffrey David Rosenberg, Anna Linden Schatz, Charles Schechtman, Lorraine Schimberg, Bernice Shore, Saul Skolnick, Harold Stone, and Molly Wintrow. If you are able, please rise as we join together and recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayachon uv'yom uv'chaye dekol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mezorach le'olam u'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to the whole world. We say together, amen. Go ahead and have a seat. We're going to close with something nice and easy. Ojevo Shalom, a prayer, a song for praying for peace to come upon us and the whole world. And if you are able, we're inviting you to stay on afterwards, after we finish Ojivo, I'll turn off the live streaming. So if you are on live streaming and want to come, or if you're on Facebook, YouTube, and want to come on and join for a post service One, we would love to chat. Thank you all so much for being here. It's such a delight. We are going to, I'm delighted we are going to keep having the Biddy led Shabbat service on mostly the third Friday of each month. And then in addition to that, we are going to have a hopefully lay led service on, I believe, the last Friday of each month, but don't hold me to that exactly. But if you are interested in helping to lead any of the prayers, readings, Glenn, I saw you grab your guitar at one point. We would love to have you help lead, especially anytime, but especially on the Leilad Shabbat. So you can be in touch with myself or Rabbi Sydney or anyone on the worship committee. So let's do a little Ojivo. Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Salam aleinu ve'akulam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'akulam. Salam shalom. Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu, Ojivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.